The movie begins with a rescue team, Jonas and two other colleagues, trying to save survivors on a submarine around 10,000 meters below the surface. During the rescue, a giant creature starts to attack the submarine from the outside. Jonas becomes alert and starts to run to the exit with a survivor on his back. When he got to the rescue vehicle, he heard a call for help from his two other colleagues. Since they were both stuck, Jonas' instinct was to go help them. But with time, everything gets more and more dangerous as the creature keeps attacking the submarine. Jonas decides to close the door connecting both vehicles and proceeds to leave.
When I'm done, half of humanity will still be alive.
One of the survivors refuses to leave without the others, so he attempts to go back, but Jonas tells him everyone will die if he goes back. Surely, in no time, the wrecked submarine exploded. Jonas successfully saved 11 survivors. Hit that intro. The next scene occurs 5 years later in Shanghai, China. We see Mana 1 research station. Their goal is to discover more aquatic life. Dr. Minwei Zhang believes that there is more life past what is believed to be the bottom. He believes it's a freezing layer of hydrogen sulfide. The theory is that unknown creatures don't make it past that layer because they cannot withstand cold temperatures for that long. To prove their theory, 3 crew members, Lori, Toshi, and the Wall, were sent to the supposed bottom of the ocean on a vehicle called the Origin. When the crew members begin to move towards the so-called bottom, the layer seems to be a cloud, proving that it was not the bottom of the ocean. In no time, the crew makes it past and successfully discovers unknown life. Everyone is stunned by the visual they are getting until Toshi spots a contact going near them. It appears to be a giant creature traveling at an incredible fast speed. The crew tries to go back to safety, but the creature begins to attack violently, making them lose connection to the research station. However, before the connection was lost, Lori kept repeating,
Jonas is right, you caught!
The crew at the research station wastes no time and begins to make a plan to rescue the 3 of them, as they only have around 18 hours left to live. While making a plan, one of them suggests having Jonas help them, as he's the only human on Earth who successfully saved people from those depths. However, Dr. Heller is against it. He was actually the survivor who tried to go back and save the other 2 colleagues at the beginning of the movie. He believed that Jonas went insane from the pressure, so he refused to trust him with this mission. However, they didn't have any other option, so Dr. Zhang and Mac went to Thailand in hopes that Jonas will be willing to help. At first, Jonas was very clear. He did not want to go back into the water under any circumstance. However, his thoughts changed when Mac played the audio from earlier. When Jonas heard Lori's voice, he got concerned since they both used to be married. Luckily, that was enough convincing, so they all flew back to China to continue with the rescue. During this time, Lori and the Wall tried to repair the Origin, so they have better chances of surviving. While Toshi was writing a letter to his wife, everything seemed to be going well. They were even able to turn on the lights, although Lori felt something coming. Her instinct was not wrong since the same creature from earlier began to attack. Since the submarine was shaken pretty roughly, Lori got stabbed with a tool. Back at Mana 1, Dr. Hell is still worried of Jonas. He tries to convince Dr. Z's daughter, Suyin, to not get Jonas involved with the rescue. When the Origin was attacked by the creature, the research station saw sudden changes in the crew's health, which made Suyin want to go rescue them. By the time Jonas, Mac, and Dr. Z came back, Suyin had already been down for 15 minutes, meaning she was already close to the crew. Before Jonas could go down to help Suyin with the rescue, he had to take a health test by Dr. Heller, the same person who thinks he's insane. When Jonas was informed of Sujin's whereabouts, he's like, no,
Showtime.
F this. When Jonas got to the surface, he couldn't get himself to descend. It seemed like he got some type of trauma from the previous time. However, our iron-glued Spaldy did it. Somehow, he knows a way to descend even faster, so he'll get to the crew around the same time as Suyin. Suyin makes her way through the cloud layer. She looks and looks until she was able to find the Origin. When she was firing the hook to tow them, something began to squish her.
What is it?
The Kraken.
Okay, I might have exaggerated. It was a giant squid. The pressure the squid was putting into the glider was too much, so it will end up exploding since nothing can be done. Sujin prepares for her death until the squid lost its grip. Sujin's life was saved because a 20 to 25 meter shark killed the squid. A shark that big is only known as a Megalodon. Jonas makes his way through the layer. He tells Sujin to turn the lights off since that is what the Megalodon is attracted to. Suyin is about to get attacked since she fails to turn off her lights. but she is luckily saved by Jonas firing red lights in the other direction. Soo-jin left the scene as her glider was too damaged to help with the rescue, so she basically went down for nothing. Jonas successfully saves Lori and the wall, but not Toshi. Before the wall made it through, Toshi saw that the Megalodon was coming back, so he grabbed the letter he wrote for his wife and put it in Wall's pocket. He proceeded to close the hatch and push them so that he would be the only one affected if the Origin was attacked. Toshi, our hero, turned on the lights to detract the attention. When the Megalodon attacked them, the Origin exploded. When Jonas came back, everyone accused him of Toshi's death. He was annoyed as it was Toshi's decision to sacrifice himself. It was also the decision of the accusers to send him down to those depths. So, who really is to blame? The next day, Soo-jin went to apologize to Jonas, but she encountered him with just a towel, which made her a little shocked, but she still could not stop staring. Throughout the rest of the movie, Soo-jin and Jonas keep on flirting with each other. The next thing we see is a little girl. She's actually Soo-jin's daughter. She was playing with her ball until a monster appeared through the glass, a Megalodon. It began to bite the glass, which made the whole station shake. Jonas, Soo-jin, and Mac went to see what was going on. They found her on the floor, terrified with the mark of the Megalodon's bite on the glass. At first, they thought it was just a whale since one of them bumped into the glass, but something seemed wrong. That whale was always with its mom. Suddenly, the Megalodon comes out of nowhere and the team starts to research how the Megalodon could have possibly gone through the freezing layer. It turns out that the explosion created by the Origin made a passage for the Megalodon to go through. It made the freezing layer temperature change to a hotter temperature. Luckily, the layer is now closed, but while it was open, around 20 sharks could have made it through. Since it was their fault that the Megalodon got through, they want to make it their job to get rid of it. The first thing is locating it, which was easy as it destroyed 3 boats in a matter of 5 seconds. The entire team went to the location, hoping everything will go their way. When they get there, they can see her fin from a distance. Since they don't have the time or all the equipment, they decide to put a tracker in case it goes away. Soo-jin suggests that someone should swim to the Megalodon and put the tracker because they don't want to take the chance for her to attack the boat just like the other 3. No one on board was brave enough to go except for Jonas. They equip him with the tracker and attach a rope to his body to pull him back safely if anything sudden happens. While Jonas was approaching her, she suddenly went underwater. Jonas lost her from his sight. He kept looking under but nothing was there until it suddenly swam right next to him. Jonas was startled, but he took his chance and shot the tracker at her fin. Once he succeeded, the crew at the boat began to pull him in, but this caused vibration, which is what sharks are attracted to. Soo-jin demanded they stopped, but it was too late as the Megalodon had already noticed him. They began to pull him back while driving away to make it harder for her to reach Jonas. She suddenly went under, which makes it appear as if she left, but no. She came back jumping out of the water with her mouth wide open, ready to eat Jonas. Luckily, Jonas jumped into the boat, making him go back to safety. Why didn't she just eat the boat? Who knows? Some time passes. They finally have everything they need to kill her. They have a cage that is not meant to break. This cage is not for the Megalodon, it is for Soo-jin. She'll have to go in the cage and use a spearhead to inject endorphin. I think that's how you say it. Okay, let's move on. Which will hopefully kill the Megalodon.
Killer whales knocked out with 10 cc's, dead with 20. What do you think?
I think we use a whole damn bottle.
Soo-jin is now descending into the depths of the ocean. The team at the boat start dropping chunks of food to attract the Megalodon, but instead of her, it attracted a bunch of 8-foot sharks. All of the sharks start swimming away, meaning she is coming. Soo-jin begins to look around, desperately, but nothing is there, until she looks down and is faced with the Meg, coming right at her with her wide mouth open. Luckily, all she did was bump into the cage. When Soo-jin tries to shoot her in the eye, she immediately goes away, but this time, she comes back ready to eat the cage. Since the cage is unbreakable, all she is doing is dragging Soo-jin. Since her force is so strong, she also drags the boat. While the Megalodon was trying to eat the cage, Soo-jin successfully injects the poison. But she still has not given up as she continues her attempt of eating the cage. However, instead of eating it, she is swallowing it. The more time passes, the more Jonas gets worried, so he jumps right into the water to save Soo-jin. While the boat was getting dragged, one of the crew members, Jazz, flew out of the boat into the water. Another crew member, Morris, throws her some stairs and luckily, she got to the boat just before she was eaten. During this time, Jonas got to the cage. However, Sujin broke her mask, making her lose oxygen. She passed out before Jonas could get to her, but he still did not give up. The crane connected to the cage fell into the water, so the cage will eventually be pulled down to the bottom of the ocean. This limits Jonas's time. However, he successfully got her out before anything bad happened. At the boat, they were trying to set up a trap for the Meg using the other crane, but the wall accidentally got pushed into the water. The good thing is that the trap worked since it stopped her from getting to Jonas and Sujin. But right at that moment, the poison finally kicked in. The lifeless body of the Meg starts falling slowly into the depths of the ocean. Sujin and Jonas got back to the boat. The next scene is Sujin walking up and thanking Jonas for saving her life once again. We also see that the team got the body of the Meg and had it hanging by the boat. The wall wanted a cool picture, so it was Jonas' recommendation to stick his head right in her mouth. When he was positioning himself, DJ moved the Meg to scare the wall, which worked as he jumped right into the water. They were all having a good time, until Morris, the billionaire that funded this project, called his acquaintances to get him tracked down. However, the only ones who have not made it back to safety are Mac, Dr. Heller, and Jax. Dr. Heller sacrifices himself to save Jax. He makes his whole body move to make vibrations. His plan ends up working, but Jax is left devastated. DJ is pissed about what's happening. He's scared that the situation will escalate more than it already has. Out in the distance, the team also spots Mac, who made it out to some rescue boats. While they were going back to the Mana 1, the Meg finds them and is now chasing after them. It seems that they are all going to die because the speed of the boat compared to the speed of the Meg is not even debatable. Luckily, Morris's acquaintances find them. Smartly, they shot a tracker at his fin and then proceed by shooting it. This made the Meg go away as the shots hurt it. Back at the boat, Dr. Z was extremely weak. This is because when he fell off the boat, one of the rescue boats pushed him down. He begins to say his final words to Sujin. She gets really emotional, but Jonas is there to comfort her. When they got back to Mana 1, Sujin had to tell her daughter what just happened with her grandpa. Morris tells the team that the Chinese government and the authorities in Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, and Australia are now aware of the Megalodon. The Chinese government will destroy it, so Mana 1 is not responsible for it anymore. Also, until the Meg dies, Mana 1 will be closed. Later, we realize that all of this was just a lie. He wants to be the one who kills it because he doesn't want to go through a lawsuit if the Meg ends up killing more people. So basically, no one except Mana 1 knows about the existence of the Megalodon. Him and his team go to where the Meg is. Using the tracker they put on it previously, they believe that they found their target is dead after throwing 2 bombs at it. However, they realize they killed a whale because the creature has no teeth. Morris orders them to get them out of there as soon as possible, but the sudden speed of the boat made him lose his balance. He kept yelling for help, but his crew couldn't hear him. Morris spots the Meg coming right at him. However, the Meg goes to bite the dead whale. Morris barely missed his death. He felt relaxed since he believed the Meg spared his life. Oh, but he was wrong. It came right back and went right at him. Back at Mana 1, they receive the news. They realize that everything that Morris told them was a lie. They all agree that they have to go to it by hacking into Morris' tracker. Unfortunately, the Meg is directed right into one of the most populated beaches. At the beach, we see so many people. Everyone was trying to do their cannonballs, swimming, which made the Meg confused because all the vibration. It didn't know where to attack first, but when it did, it looked something like this. Everyone starts to rush out of the water. It seems like the Meg is about to attack a group of people, but luckily the trap Mana 1 setup worked. The whale sounds attracted the Meg's attention. Sujin and Jonas are both in gliders. They begin to attack to the best of their ability. While the chase on the sea was happening, 3 helicopters appeared on the scene. Since the pilots were not paying attention, they all went down and crashed into the boat. All the crew jumped out of the boat into the water. Sujin heard what happened, so she went to take care of her daughter, which left the Meg all to Jonas. And this is where the last battle takes place. A bunch of sharks began to go to its body to start having their feast, but one seems to be going towards Jonas. Luckily, Sujin came back for him. He held on to the side of her glider and they all went back to safety. Sujin spotted the boat the rest of the crew were at, so she went towards it. We now all see them cheering for being alive, but there seems to be something else in the water. And that's it. If you like this video, please check out our other videos and hit the like button if you're already there. Peace.